In this video, I thought of going over the topic of flexibility. And actually, flexibility doesn't fall under any of the four properties that we have covered so far. And it is slightly related to the topic of status, and it is very important. So I thought of going over through a brief intro of this topic here. So what does flexibility means? Is that we know that isms change their signs in a sentence to reflect their role. Okay, so we know when they take dhamma, it is the ism is acting as a subject of a sentence, and fatha means it is a detail, and kasra or jar state occurs just in two conditions. So we know that in order to show the role of an ism, the ism is going to change this ending sign. So when an ism can change the ending signs into three cases, such isms are called flexible isms. And the Arabic term for flexible isms is mu'arrab. That means the ism is going to change to three different signs. Okay, now opposite to this flexible isms are non-flexible isms. And the Arabic term for non-flexible isms is mabni, fixed. That is, no matter what their position is in a sentence, whether they are acting as a subject or if they are acting as a detail of a verb or anything, they are going to appear in the same form. They don't change the ending signs. Now, we haven't covered many of the non-flexible words so as to give you example here, but just the few, very few which we have done, and that too not complete, but just I mean to say I'm trying to give you an idea of the words that are non-flexible that we have covered so far are haza, the pointer pronouns, if you remember from the previous lessons, and huwa, hiya, those personal pronouns, as well as hazihi. And there are many different non-flexible words like allazina and so many other things. So these are non-flexible isms. That means they are fixed in their ending signs. So they are called mabni or non-flexible. These are mu'arrab or flexible. Now, in between two of these, flexible and non-flexible, we have a third category, and that is partly flexible. So partly flexible isms means they are going to change two signs. They will take fatha, dhamma and fatha. They are not going to take kasra. So whenever the ism is supposed to be in jar state, that is whenever the ism is supposed to take kasra, instead of taking kasra, the ism is going to take fatha. Okay, so that is the first rule of partly flexible isms. Partly flexible isms, they don't take kasra, and also one more important point, they don't take tanween. See, we don't write tanween for partly flexible isms. I have just single vowels here. And also, so this is the form ending signs we will write u, a. For nasb and jar state, we have just fatha. We will understand, depending on the context of this sentence, we will be able to understand that, okay, this word here is supposed to be in jar state, that is, it is supposed to take kasra, but it is not present with kasra because it is probably due to its nature, that is, it is partly flexible. So there are three different kinds of ism depending on the flexibility. What is flexibility? Flexibility is the ability of the ism to change the ending signs. If they are able to change all three signs, they are called flexible or mu'arrab. And if they are fixed, they are called non-flexible or mabni. And in middle, there are some isms that are called partly flexible. And the Arabic term for partly flexible isms is mamnu min as-sarf or diptot. Okay, so please do write down those terms. I haven't written them in Arabic here. So okay, so now these two categories, that is flexible and non-flexible, are easy to understand, and we can, in most cases, we can recognize them. Partly flexible isms, they are I mean, in actually the way to figure out the partly flexible isms is we have to learn many concepts, and we have to work through many practice sentences, and that's how we will be able to figure out that this ism is partly flexible. But for beginners, for us to just get started with our exercises, I thought of bringing up some categories of isms that are usually partly flexible. So we will look at some of the categories of isms that are partly flexible. But before that, I want to give an example for you to better relate this concept of flexibility. And that example is, imagine, I mean, you could think of this in terms of, like, for example, what kind of outwear do we wear if we want to go to parties? Naturally, our outfit will be different, right? We have party clothes. And what are the kind of clothes we wear when we go to some work? We wear some professional clothes. And what kind of clothes do we wear when we are at home? I mean, informal clothes. So depending on the occasion, we are changing our outfits. In the same way, the isms, they change the ending signs depending on their function in a sentence. So flexible isms, they change their ending signs depending on each and every occasion. So when they are acting as subject, they take a different sign, and when they are acting, and when they are in detail, they take different signs. So these are flexible. Flexible isms, they change their ending signs. Non-flexible isms, they remain same. No matter what the occasion is, they always appear in the same ending sign or in the same form. And partly flexible, they change the ending sign but not completely. Okay, so I really hope that example helps you. Now let's go to some of the categories of partly flexible isms. So the first one is non-Arab names. So when the non-Arab names, they are partly flexible. Now, Arab names, like in Quran, we have examples of 4 prophets, non-Arab Arab prophets. So those are, I think I haven't written them. So those ism will take tanween and they are fully flexible. But non-Arab names, for example, Yusufu, Ismailu, these are written with single dhamma. So the first sign to recognize a partly flexible ism is whenever you see a single vowel sign. Okay, so that is the first sign, and the chance is that the ism you are looking at can be partly flexible. So I'm sorry, this got stuck here. One moment. Okay, so Yusufu, this is which state? Marfu state. What will be the mansub state? Yusufa. And majroor state? Yusufa. Again Yusufa. Okay, so please write down the 3 state for this ism also. And the exception here is the non-Arab names, when they are 3 lettered, they are partly flexible. Okay. And the second category is all feminine names. All the feminine names will be with are diptodes, that is partly flexible. They don't take kasra. Look here. Zainaba, again Zainaba. Khatijata, Khatijatu, Khatijata, Khatijata. Again, the exception in this case is 3-letter feminine names. They will be fully flexible. Okay. Okay, proper names of places. Names of places will be partly flexible. Makkatu, Makkata, Makkata. Yathribu, Yathriba, and Yathriba. Okay, we have 2 exceptions here. Some names of places are with alif lam. Like alif lam will be the part, the spelling of that place. And in that case, these isms will be fully flexible. Like al-Hindu, al-Hinda, and al-Hindi, India. Irahu, Iraha, and al-Irahi. Okay. Oh, one more, names with 3 letters are fully flexible. Okay, in the same thing, if we have names of places that are with 3 letters, then they will be fully flexible. Example will be Adnin. Okay, I haven't written that. Okay, few more categories. The singular words that end with stretched alif or ya, alif maksura or alif mamduda, these isms will be partly flexible. See, we have just single sign written on them. And certain kind of plurals with alif in the middle. Masajidu, kawakibu. See this alif. and any name or adjective with ends with alif noon. Uthmanu, this is the name, and Ghadbanu, this is the adjective. So they both of them are ending with alif noon and they are partly flexible. So no need to try to memorize all this list. It is just for you to help you get started with the concept of flexibility. And anyways, as we proceed through our lessons, we will be using these different categories, and when we try to analyze a sentence, like when we try to reason ourselves that why is this ism taking this dhamma sign or fatha sign, in that way we will be able to understand and figure out which isms are partly flexible and non-flexible. So really no need to freak out here if you don't get this. This was just a brief intro. Okay, now I want you all to pause the video right here and try to write whether these isms are partly flexible or fixed. Okay, so I hope you have paused the video, and here are the answers. Mafatihu, this is partly flexible. Why is it partly flexible? I don't expect you to get all of these right, because you don't have sufficient vocabulary to work out here. So anyways, if you were able to do, then these are the answers for those. Mafatihu means keys, alif in the middle. Awliya, these are the words that end with hamza, stretched alif. And Zaid is flexible because this is three-letter word. So three letters of word are flexible names. And Al Madinatu is flexible because of alif lam. And Luhmanu, this is again partly flexible because alif noon in the ending. Okay, so that was about the concept of flexibility, and let me pull out some of the practice problems for you. Okay, so here you have to write the rough, nasb and jar forms for these isms. Now first I have given the example here. So Salihun is the Arab name, Arab prophet name. So this is fully flexible. So the marfu state will be Salihun, Salihan and Salihin. And Ibrahimu is non-Arab prophet name, so it will be partly flexible. So we have just u, a, and again a. And likewise, amilun means worker, yasribu, we have seen this example. So Ilyasu, again the name of prophet. Shahawatu are desires. I think the rest of the vocabulary, the English translation, I think it just got erased or something. So anyways, so haza, akhlamun, pens. Sufyanu, masajidu, masjids, mosques. Ahmadu, name, hiya, and azlamun. Okay, so the first clue is, in order to know whether an ism is partly flexible or fully flexible, is the partly flexible ism will be with just one harakat. Okay, so that's all for this video here. See you all in the next video.